What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Play with CJ Prospect Profiles. Today, I'm focusing on Dubuque Fighting Saints forward and future Wisconsin Badger Seamus Malone, who played for the Chicago Mission U16 midget program. He's put up good offensive numbers everywhere he's played. This year, 23 goals and 23 assists in 55 games for the Fighting Saints, and has a little pugnacity and tenacity in his game. 93 penalty minutes for a guy that's 5'9" and listed at 165 pounds. I can see him being a very effective player next year for Coach Eve's squad. I think with Cordelis' departure to the NHL, there's going to be a void in the top six. And, a guy like him, you might say, well, he's smaller. He really can only play in the top six to excel. I think you're being naive. I mean, he's got a little bit of, like I said, sandpaper in his game. I love seeing the smaller guys that have what it takes and aren't afraid to go to the high traffic areas to score and be effective. And the penalty minutes everywhere he's played have been high. So it tells you he doesn't take a step backwards. And I think he's gonna be a very, very good college hockey player. The smaller guys tend to always, anyone that says someone's too small, look at what Johnny Gaudreau was able to do this year as a undersized player. And both the Dubuque Fighting Saints, and I can go so far as to say Malone's 2, maybe 3 inches taller than Johnny G. So, I think the upside's there. He's 180th ranked North American skater, so it tells you he'll probably go in the 7th round if he's drafted. I think he'll probably go a little bit higher than that. You've heard about him for a while, just through the grapevine. And again, last year he played 4 games with the U17 U.S. team, 4 points. I think if next year he'll contend for Big Ten Rookie of the Year. I think that's definitely feasible for him. And I think he's going to continue to develop. I think he'll be a project player where he does 3 to 4 years of college hockey, then you check on his progress after that. But I think he'll be an effective forward for a long time. I think he'll play for the U.S. at least one World Junior. I mean, you look at another smaller guy out of Dubuque, Riley Barber. One of the top prospects in the Washington Capitals program, Miami of Ohio guy. There's plenty of reasons to be optimistic, and I would take him honestly 5th round. And again, he's slotted as a 7th round pick. So, you're looking at what he can do versus what he's projected to do. You got to look at the eye test, and every time I've watched him play, he's passed it. I like what he brings to the table, and I think he's going to be a very, very good player for the Badgers for his tenure there. I think he'll be a good professional player. I mean, he's got to bulk up, maybe put on a few inches, but these undersized forwards get overlooked way too often, and then they're not all going to be Marty St. Louis, but give them the time of day. Now, there's no quote by Theo Fleury. Big guys have to prove they can't play. Small guys have to prove they can play, and that's true. No true words have been said about the smaller forwards, smaller players overall. So I think he'll be he'll use, and he's not afraid again to use his body to protect the puck. He can use his hockey sense to get out of situations, and the offensive prowess are there. So I think he'll be a steal, in the later rounds of the draft. He's one of my favorite players in this year's draft. And again, I can't wait to watch him play college hockey next year. Anyway, that's all I got in this episode of the Power Play with CJ Prospect Profiles on Seamus Malone of the Dubuque Fighting Saints, the same team that gave us one Shane Walsh. Stay tuned for episodes throughout the playoffs and beyond. Later, guys.